Hey everyone, I'm Heather. Welcome back to my week-by-week pregnancy journal. Check out the description area for a quick breakdown of this video if you just want to skip around to a certain topic or just check how my bump is progressing. This week we're talking about week 20. Today is actually day 1 of week 21. So I'll let you know everything we did this week and how our anatomy scan went and our beautiful pictures of our baby boy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that little bell to get notifications of when I post my next video. This week the baby's about 6.5 inches long and about 10.5 ounces, about the size of a large banana. But little sneak peek, during our anatomy scan, the ultrasound tech said that my baby was weighing 13 ounces. So I think that's above. Hopefully he's not a big baby. 13 ounces is just so small right now, but you know, it could just not be accurate. But anyway, so what's happening in development this week? I've read somewhere that the baby is now swallowing. So whatever the baby's swallowing from now on out is actually the substance that is accumulating in the stomach and will end up in the baby's bowels. And that's the meconium that the baby will pass during, like, I guess its first bowel movement. Supposedly the foods that you eat kind of give that amniotic fluid a slight flavor. So they said, you know, oh my God. So they said,
what are you doing?
Legs. Okay, so they said any foods that you want your baby to really like, maybe start eating them, like carrots or vegetables, stuff like that, because your fluid is tasty. Because your fluid is tasting like that, so don't eat too much candy and donuts and ice cream because then you'll have a little sugar freak. I also read that now the baby is actually hiccuping. I feel a lot of movement now, so I don't really know what's the difference, I guess, between kicking and hiccups, but I've heard a lot of women talk about the hiccups. I have to pay more attention to the feeling. Maybe it's just like a quicker in sync kicking. I don't know. I don't even know how you would say that, but who feels hiccups? Is anybody else feeling their baby hiccup or, you know, having trouble deciphering which is hiccups and what's kicks? Symptoms this week, stuffy nose is still present and it's getting really annoying because every day that I wake up in the morning, it's like really stuffy, and I've been using that saline nasal spray. That does help, and then it kind of like loosens everything and then I'm able to blow my nose and clear it, but that's just something that's still present. Headaches came back again this week. I'm not sure if I did something wrong or maybe I let myself get dehydrated again. I found that this week it's just been really hard. I think work has just been busy and I haven't really been keeping up on my water intake, but I did notice, oh, and I ran out of green tea, my green tea caffeinated tea. So I don't know, I think all those things kind of played a little role in it, but luckily it was just for about like 1.5 or 2 days. It wasn't a whole week like the last week when I was getting headaches. Other things, my backaches that I've been experiencing, and I believe I have talked about them in the previous videos. At one point it got up to like a 8 or a 9 out of 10, like if you're using that scale of pain, just like a stabbing in the lower right side of my back. I went to see a chiropractor. I think I've had 3 visits with her so far. So I went on a Friday, a Tuesday, and then a Friday again. And then this coming up Tuesday, I see her again. So she started off slow, got a little more aggressive during the next sessions where they actually loosened the muscles up with pressure, and then she actually cracked my back. And I'm like, that is exactly what I feel like I've needed to do for the last 2 or 3 months. So it started on my right side of my back, and then it kind of evened out, and then the pressure is just like along my whole lower back. It's not just localized and stabbing in one area anymore, which she said that's how it usually does. It like levels out and then you start to get full pain relief. So I'm pretty happy with the chiropractic results. I highly suggest, if that is something that you have the option of doing, if you have back pain, definitely go see a chiropractor because it's not something that was ever suggested to me. I do have scoliosis also, and she just works really well. The chiropractor that I go to was actually referred to me from my OB/GYN office, and they are actually really close in distance to where I go for all of my prenatal appointments. The cool thing about her is she sees a lot of pregnant women, so if you can find a chiropractor that works with pregnant women, that's even better, because I mean that made me feel more confident with her twisting and popping my spine. She also had this pillow where, you know, the boobs are cut out and the belly's cut out so that when you're laying flat, it's comfortable still. The first time I went, it was about 30 minutes. She got to know me. From there on, it's just like quick in and out, 15-minute appointments. Works her little magic hand, and I'm out of there. And I have nothing but good things to say. One more thing about the chiropractor. When I left last visit, she told me about a stretch that stretches your piriformis muscle, which is a muscle that attaches from, I think, your sacrum to the top of your femur bone, which is also like your thigh bone. What you do is you take your leg, cross it on top of the other knee, and you sit up straight, and you actually push down on your knee. And she said you can actually like push up like this and give some resistance, but when you're pushing down like this, and if you do that, you could feel the stretch in the back of your glute here, or like, I guess it's deep in your bottom, in your buttocks. So just doing that really helps. Or another one, you know, lay on the ground and actually pull this leg up like this. Can't really do it. And then you can, that's like more of the back of the thigh, but doing this actually stretches the back piriformis muscle. Another thing that I've noticed is I've been very restless at night. Sleeping positions have become way more uncomfortable than they used to be. I used to be a comfortable side sleeper. I never slept on my back, never really slept on my stomach either. I would just alternate between sides. But as we know, and we've probably all read in books, that sleeping on your left side during pregnancy increases the amount of blood and nutrients that reach the placenta and your baby. So they highly suggest that you sleep on your left side after 20 weeks of pregnancy. Back sleeping actually compresses the main blood vessels, the aorta and the vena cava, that run down the center of your body. The weight of the placenta actually cuts off blood flow. That's why back sleeping is not recommended. So this is what I read somewhere when I, noticed that I was waking up in the middle of the night and ending up on my back, like probably 4 times, 5 times a night. And I'm just gonna read what I read. It says, should you wake up on your back in the middle of the night, don't freak out. Your body would let you know if your baby was in any real danger of not getting enough oxygen. You'd feel nauseated and breathless long before your baby would have a problem. Simply roll onto your side and try to fall back asleep. Reading that was very comforting, knowing that finding myself on my back in the middle of the night wasn't doing anything that was really severely hurting the baby. Cravings this week, I did get a craving for custard again, so I fulfilled that craving. And then also I found that I was really craving sweets like Airheads, Jolly Ranchers, Laffy Taffy, sweet candies like that. Weight gain this week, I am up about 8 pounds, 9 pounds, somewhere around there. My waist and my underbelly now have gained equal amounts. So my waist is 3.5 inches bigger, and same with my underneath of my belly. Little pop going on there, and everything's kind of growing up and equaling out in circumference. This week I finally feel like I'm pregnant. It like hit me. I guess because my belly has popped, and I used to be able to just press my belly out, like push it out and exaggerate my bump when it wasn't really there yet. And now my belly's kind of at that point just naturally. I don't have to press it out anymore. It's there. Mentally seeing that, and that, I can't force my belly out any farther than it is right now, is kind of like, okay, well, here we are. Whereas before my husband would be like, stop pressing your belly out. And now I'm like, I'm not pressing it out. This is me, like this is the baby. Things we did this week. At 20 weeks and 2 days, around 8 p.m., after Dad oiled my belly up, he felt your kicks for the first time. I felt it, he felt it, and I was like, that was it. And he was like, no way, oh my God, I want to feel it again. I think he felt it for a total of 3 or 4 kicks. It felt like everything came full circle. I feel the baby move. He had seen the baby move. Now he felt the baby move. Now it's like a real baby in there for both of us. He's able to feel him and bond that way also, and it's just a great feeling. Also, this week I came up with a plan for what my maternity wardrobe is going to be like at work. What I came up with was, I don't feel like I want to do actual maternity scrub tops. I am going to do like a v-neck plain white shirt. Our colors for nursing at the facility I work at is all white. Bummer. I really don't care for that because it's just hard to maintain. But all white tops with like a white scrub jacket. So I got a short sleeve one and I got 2 long sleeve ones. I just feel that it's something that I'll be able to use in the future also, like not just for pregnancy. And the tops I just kind of sized up to the next size, so I usually wear a small. I got a medium in some of the tops, and it's just plain shirts that I could wear anywhere, and they're more affordable than the $30 or $35 each maternity scrubs. So I got the maternity scrubs and I was like, I'm gonna go another week without having to like change my outfit up. But by Friday of this past week, that's when I first started, like I changed out and I was like, all right, I am taking my regular scrub tops out of my wardrobe and putting them away for now. So making that change is just another thing like, hey, you're pregnant, getting more pregnant day by day, and changes have to be made. This week I also received the rest of the order that I had placed through Motherhood with a bunch of maternity tops. Just like I said, the V-neck, ruched on the side, they were on sale they always have sales on Motherhood. If you put your email in, they'll email you a bunch of sale deals. So every top was like $10. I got probably 4 tops, a sleep cami that is, works for breastfeeding, and I think I got 2 sleep pants, which are so comfortable, 1 pair of black maternity leggings. Everything is just perfect. I think I only spent on all of that about like $115. The other day too, I put one of my nicer jackets on, and when I zipped it up, I'm like, oh, this is a little uncomfortable. Definitely feel it getting tight in there. I put on one of my pair of pants that are high-rise that I loved like 3 weeks ago, and by the end of the day, like I went out to eat with my girlfriends, and when I came home, I was like speeding home because my pants were so uncomfortable and I couldn't unbutton them. So won't be wearing them anymore. So other things we did this week, chiropractor. I talked about that a little bit earlier already. And the most exciting thing was our 20-week ultrasound, which is the anatomy scan. At this point, it would be where you find out the gender of your baby, but we had done the genetic testing and found out through blood work already. So we know that it is a baby boy during that ultrasound, and it was just amazing. She switched to the HD live view and the 4D view, and we got some amazing pictures of our little one. But I just can't believe you see his little face, like, and right away my husband was like, I swear, if I show you a picture of me as a baby, that looks just like me. And I'm like, I hope so. It's a boy and he's yours. Oh, I'm just so in love. And then we got this whole strip. And right here, they point out the gender. It says it's a boy. And then you have the full body of the baby, little footprint, little thumbs up right here. It's like little hand. And then you have some more like 4D or 3D ultrasound photos, and then his profile. Oh, I have these hanging in our fridge, and I'm just like, this is my baby. So my husband, overall, our appointment was just amazing. I have the best ultrasound tech, and we had her for our 12-week scan. And we actually asked for her again because, every ultrasound tech is different, like what they're gonna say to you and what they're gonna explain to you, how much information you wanna know. So you can prep by looking up questions to ask on your anatomy scan. And it's gotta be, I guess, things that you understand. Like, to me, I asked, like, what's the placement of the placenta? Like, is it in the appropriate place? And then, like, amniotic fluid, is there enough? And her answer was like, yeah, if it were an issue or if she thought it was an issue, she would measure it, but there's like no concern at all, so she wasn't even gonna measure that. Placenta is in a good place. It's like, I guess, along the back of my uterus and plenty away from the cervix, so that no risk of like placenta previa is a worry right now. So my husband did take a little video of our scan. If I can, I'll add that in maybe while I'm talking right now. But when we saw the 3D scan, it was just like, we were mind blown. And then it goes into, full baby, and then it goes into like, we saw the baby's spine, and then even, legs, arms, thumbs up, little feet, the heart beating. It broke it down to even like all the 4 chambers of the heart beating. And everything that they're looking for, even like when you look at the baby's lips, it's like they're looking to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. So far, so good. Looks like a beautiful, perfect little baby in there. The ultrasound tech said too that at this point, doing this scan is when they are able to really identify a lot of heart abnormalities or kidney defects and everything like that. And we got to see between the legs and see that it was certainly a boy. What's comforting to me this week? Definitely sleep. I have found myself taking more naps than normal. I'm just really into sleep right now. Also, feeling him kick and move around is just always very comforting. And then, you know, having my husband feel him too is like another little exciting thing that's comforting. Like, oh, here, we're on the same page. It's strong enough. You can feel it. So just some thoughts and questions that I had this week. One thing is that it's just funny, like, thinking, I wonder when people are gonna actually ask me, like, are you expecting? I know it's like taboo or whatever, like you don't ever ask a woman if she's pregnant, but it's funny because I see people, like, they'll turn and they'll double look and they'll look directly at my belly and like not even make eye contact with me, but I see them looking at my belly and I know they're wondering, but they'll just look back away, not even make eye contact. And I'm like, I have to joke around with them, like, what are you looking at? And then, you know, one girl was like, is that a baby belly? And, you know, I did say yes, but I provoked that conversation. But it's funny because my bump is noticeable now, and I guess people just won't ask. Another thought this week was, now that I'm using a different deodorant, I've realized that I really do love the Earth Mama deodorant. I've been using one of the Toms, and I find that for me, it's more sticky. And then, you know, especially with the summer coming up, I just feel like when you do start to sweat, it's not really controlling it like the Earth Mama one was. It just feels like you feel your arms in there, like just sticky. So if you have any deodorant suggestions, please leave them down below because I'm up for trying something new when this one runs out, but I am willing to just go back and reorder Earth Mama. So another thought, like, a lot of people were telling me, oh, your scrubs are getting tight, like you're gonna need to get new tops soon. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but I feel like I did have more room to grow. And then, you know, towards the end of the week, the last 3 days of last week, my belly did pop out, so I agreed, and then that's when I got my maternity clothes, and then I waited a couple days and actually wore them. But just having people tell you that your clothes are getting tighter and you're not fitting in your clothes, it's just a weird feeling for them to be so openly telling you that, hey, your clothes are a little too tight there. And I'm like, right.
Especially when you're stubborn.
Especially when you're stubborn like me. So people telling me that my clothes are getting tight and I needed to wear them maternity tops now, I was like, no, I don't. Of course. My husband wanted to make sure that I put that in there.
Story of my life.
That I'm stubborn. Things I'm looking forward to. Definitely starting the nursery, and I know I've said this the last few weeks, but we just haven't gotten around to it yet. And I know that we still have time, so it's okay. And my husband's doing a lot of other projects, and I know he's frustrated that I probably can't help him with all of them, like painting and stuff like that. But I am excited to start the nursery. I think one thing we have to do is just get rid of the stuff that's lingering around still. So yeah, with starting the nursery, I think I'm just excited to, you know, get the basics done, like pick a color, paint the walls, and like pick a rug. Because I think from there, like once we get the crib and the main big things, then the little decorating will all come together pretty quick. Also, I'm excited to have a yard sale. We're just waiting for the right weather and the perfect weekend to kind of just get everything out of the house. And once it is out, it's staying out and we are just donating it or saying free for all, take whatever you want. But try and make some money out of it if we can. We shall see. But once that clutter is gone, I think mentally my husband and I will feel a lot better. With the nursery, my husband did start. He actually took out all the old windows, like old creaky wooden windows that really weren't holding heat in the house and just making it really cold. So now there's brand new windows in the baby's nursery, and also he fixed up the closet, like kind of built out the closet and put bifold doors on there. Steps in the right direction. Things I'm nervous or scared about, definitely just thinking about pushing on my belly, and if I'm pushing on him too hard. I know that my doctor and my midwives had said that there's a lot of cushioning in there, and if it's not hurting the mother, like whatever you're doing to your belly, if it's not hurting you, it's not hurting the baby. So that's a good rule of thumb to go by. But you know, I look at these ultrasound pictures now and I'm like, that cute little face, like I'm like, I don't want to poke his little eye or something like that. I hope he comes out as perfect as this ultrasound made him to be and everything is just healthy. One more thing that I just remembered was when I lay on my back, I noticed that my uterus tightens up and it's like a hard ball. And I actually talked with one of my friends that is a week ahead of me pregnant right now, and she said that she had felt pressure like in her crotch. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, are they telling you that's similar to Braxton Hicks contractions, and she said no. I don't know what her reasoning was or what her doctor said about that, but on my Instagram account, one of the photos that I posted of my weird little alien belly was a comment from somebody saying that when she has Braxton Hicks contractions, her belly looks like that. So it made me start thinking like, oh, I feel that tightening in my uterus. Like, I know what Braxton Hicks contractions are. They're like false labor contractions, but it did say when I looked it up that it can start as early as 20 weeks or second trimester, and it could just be tightening of your uterus for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and it's not multiple in a row. It's just, it happens and then it releases. Some of the causes of it could be, you know, touching the baby, somebody touching your belly, if you're doing too much of like a strenuous activity, and then also dehydration. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'm dehydrated. I don't know. Maybe it is Braxton Hicks contractions, but that's definitely a question I'm going to have on my list to ask at my next OB visit. They don't cause any pain or discomfort. It's just, it's there and it's a tight feeling, and then the muscle relaxes. I did read that it's a good thing. It's the uterus pairing that muscle, like it's working that muscle out for when it has to do its job to push the baby out. So thanks again for watching my video. That's my recap of week 20. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that little bell to get notifications when I post my next one. And let's take a look at how my bump is progressing. So this is my belly for week 20, day 1 of week 21. So you can see a definite difference from the last video to this one. I mean, he is popping out. This is my belly. Oh my goodness. I like to show it like this. So one of my YouTube subscribers asked me if I would do the suck-in thing, where you suck your belly in so you can see where the baby's actually lying. So if you're gonna get grossed out, you may want to skip this part, but I think it's pretty cool, and I'm glad she suggested to do that. But, ready for it? You can see exactly where the baby is. I can't talk when I do it because I'm holding my breath, but crazy, right? And you can see my line here. You can see my linea negra. I think I'm saying it right. Oh.